Hi everyone, you're welcome to my channel. My name is Alain Karemun. I'm your girl, Naskoshala. That's what you call me, right? All right. So today I want to talk about a particular question. So I've been asked this question several times, and here on this channel, what I talk about is more of nursing, nurses, health, and other lifestyle as well. So if you're just joining, if you're just seeing this video for the first time, please do me a favor. As they used to say, like, comment, subscribe, share, and turn on your notification button. You say that's what they say, right? So turn on, not turn off. Okay, turn on your notification button. Let me start all over again. Hi everyone, my name is Olayinka Aremu. You're welcome to my channel. In this channel, we talk about nursing, nurses, international travels for nursing, relocation, and I also talk about stuffs like health, age well, lifestyle and all that. But most importantly, I talk about nursing and nurses. Okay, so today, like I said, I'm going to be sharing a particular topic that has been of great interest to me, and people have been asking me, especially those that I mentor, the Nurse to Island mentorship with Synergy International Nursing Network. Just as a background, like I said, my name is Olayin Karimu. I'm a registered nurse here in Ireland. I've been here for the past 5 years. Registered for 12 years now. Yeah, 12 years. How time flies. All right. So what I do mostly is to mentor and coach nurses, okay, as an independent mentor. So I work with HSE as a discharge coordinator or patient flow outreach manager here in Ireland, CNM2. How I got there, I think I've shared some stuff about how I was able to move from being a staff nurse to a CNM2 within 4 years. So you might want to watch that video. I don't know, did I do a video or a TikTok? I think it was a TikTok. Anyways, so today, for those in my mentorship class, we've been talking so much about how to support you in your NMBI registration, in coming to Ireland. So for those that don't know, if you want to be an Irish nurse, you need to be registered, especially if you are from outside EU. So you need to go through what they call the recognition process and then registration process. All right, I have to screen here, so I'm going here and there. I'm live here on YouTube, and so for people that want to catch up, if you're watching this already, you may want to share as well. Share the link, share to somebody that might need it. So topic for today basically is what's next after you have submitted your NMBI application fee. So if you have not watched that video where we talked about your NMBI processing, application, the documentation, you can check back on the previous videos, okay? Basically, this video, I'm going to be talking about what next. So I've kind of written and put together some few things that you need to start doing. Like my candidates have asked me, most of them have asked now, what should I do now that I've submitted my documents with NMBI? Probably you're waiting for the decision. So I'm just going to run through that. First of all, I want to say congratulations, congratulations that you actually started the process. It's not easy, honestly, I tell you. It's not easy to make up your mind that you want to move from a country where you have lived almost all your life, I would say all your life, to another country. So I know it's not easy. So I say congratulations that you have actually and gotten to the stage where you have submitted all your documents. Now, to know about what documents you need to submit and how to put them together, again, I said I've done a video regarding that, and you might want to join in with the Nurse to Ireland mentorship class. All right, so it's ongoing at the moment, and I think it will be very interesting if you join. All right, so I'm going to do a quick share there for people, other people. If you have not used that 1 second to share, so share with the other friends, share with your friends, press the subscription button there, and also, like I said, turn on your notification button. I'm trying to get used to this. Okay, all right. Okay, so again, what do you do next? You have submitted your application, and now you are waiting for decision letter from NMBI. So usually, once you submitted your application will take roughly within 90 days for NMBI to assess your documents. So roughly 90 days for that assessment to be done. And what happens actually is that the NMBI, they have their independent assessors, that was go through your documentation. They'll go through all your, so there are two types of assessment, the administrative assessment, and then you have the real, educational assessment. So the administration assessments will just make sure that all your documents are complete. You understand? It's important that you make sure that you have complete documentation. It is really, really important, because if there's any mistake, any fraudulent act, or any incomplete documentation, it's going to kind of affect, the overall, I would say the duration of your assessment, or you can actually also be, refused. So make sure that you join the nurse mentorship so that you know the right documents you need to submit, you know how to put your documents together, and to seek the necessary support as much as possible. All right. So if you're joining there, you can just let us know where you're joining from in the chat box in the comment section. Just let me know as well, what stage are you in your relocation pathway? Are you just starting? Are you interested in Ireland? What do you want to know about Ireland? If you have not seen the previous video, I'm going to advise you that you go and check out my previous videos about what you need to relocate to Ireland as a nurse. All right, like I said, basically this video is about what to do next, once you have you have submitted your NMBI application. So I move next now straight to, like I said, we have about within 90 days, sometimes lesser, for NMBI to assess your document. So they come back to you within these 90 days if everything is okay. Otherwise, if they needed more things, from you, they are going to come back to you and ask you, request for additional documentation. So if the NMBI has requested for additional documentation, you need to provide that within the time frame that they have given us. Usually within 6 months, you need to provide those information. Otherwise, your application will be cancelled and you have to start all over again. You understand? So please get that sorted. Now, like I said again, the outcome. Now, when you're waiting for the outcome, there are the 3 different outcomes that you should expect from the NMBI. So first outcome there could be, wow, yeah, you have successfully, your application is considered and they just need you to progress to registration. But the second outcome there is saying that you need what they call the compensation measure. And this usually applies to, nurses from, I would say developing countries outside EU, based on the education standard. And so you might be required to go through the compensatory measures. And the compensatory measures usually take the form of either you having the, what's this called? The RCSI aptitude test, that's going through the exam pathway, which I call the aptitude testing, and OSCE preparation, or secondly, it could be through adaptation. So a quick difference between that is that for the adaptation, there are accredited institutions, hospitals that you have to do a period, I think between 6 to 12 weeks, depending on the employer, that you have to do. So adaptation means that you're going through a period of sort of like an internship during that period, and then you'll be assessed at the end of that period and considered either you're competent enough, kind of. So you'll be attached to a preceptor, somebody to go through the process with you and assess you and give the feedback to the director of nursing, and so on and so forth. So you'll be given your status. You'll be told if you pass the adaptation successfully or not. Otherwise, the other part is the exam pathway, which has to do with the aptitude testing and practicals. So this is organized by the RCSI, the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland. So they organize that. Just a second there. Just connect back here. So your outcome, like I said, depends on that. That's the second part. So what determines what you go with? Either you're going through the adaptation or you're going through the aptitude test. It depends on your employer. So some employer can decide that you have to go through exam pathway. So with that exam pathway, the RCSI fee is about 2,800. So the employer will pay for that. There's other option which I'll talk about as well, is the self-sponsorship option, where you don't have to wait for an employer. You might, if you have the money, you can self-sponsor yourself. The exam fee is about 2,800 euros for the RCSI exam. So you can self-sponsor, get your exam done, and while during that period, look for employer. So this is like an alternative, you understand? So okay, so that is about that. I'm just going to check in one or two. If you have any particular question you'd like me to answer, this is an opportunity. You can drop it in the chat box, in the comment section there, and I will take all your answers one after the other as much as I can. All right, so that's the third. And then the third outcome is that you are not eligible for registration. So, but maybe they've gone through all your documentation, they've gone through all the, you have either done everything and they feel, well, you know, the education you have gone through is not sufficient at all, which is in a rare case. You know, rarely will NABI come and say that a candidate is not eligible. We have cases like that anyways, but it's like 1 in 100 or 200, let me put it that way, or even less. I don't have the record, sorry. So as I was saying, that's the kind of outcome you expect, but generally nurses from non-EU countries will fall under the category of, you know, the compensatory measures. So for that, you need to start preparing. For those that have been asking, what do I have to do now? I've submitted. The next thing you have to do is to start looking for employers. So start looking for employers is very important. You need to get an employer. And like I said, there is their option of self-sponsorship as well. So I'll talk about that quickly. About self-sponsorship, if you want to self-sponsor, you have the money, and this includes the money for the self-sponsorship means automatically you are opting for the exam pathway, because for the adaptation you need to get an employer that is an accredited employer, like I've mentioned, you know, that will be able to take you in and say, oh, we're bringing this nurse over to ourselves to go through adaptation process, and then they will apply for the adaptation. I think it's about 1,000 euros. The employer will apply, and then for your visa and all that. See, we have employers that want to sponsor. Some employers or some agencies sponsor your visa. They will sponsor your ticket. Some will sponsor maybe a month or 2 months accommodation and so on. So you need to be on the lookout for such. Now, this is where Synergy International comes in. We can, you know, point your direction to recruitment agencies, to employers that, you know, that are actually looking for nurses, international nurses. So you might want to enlist yourself in that. Okay, so moving ahead now, I'm talking about self-sponsorship. I'm trying not to lose anything I want to talk about because it's a bit detailed. I've tried to split these videos into sections as much as possible, but this is going on live now, so grab as much as you can. Now, the self-sponsorship that like I said, you have the money, you have saved up enough, you know, you can pay for the RCSI exam once you have gotten your decision letter. So like I said, the compensatory measures will give you a decision letter, will say that, okay, this is a decision. Decision of NMBI means that you can go ahead and do that compensatory measure. And you're given the option of either going through the adaptation or going through the aptitude testing pathway. Now, you can choose if you want to self-sponsor. Like I said, you have the money, you are ready to go through that. You don't have that patience to wait and start looking for exam employer. Remember that your NMBI decision letter is valid for 12 months. You know, 12 months from the date that it is released to you. So you want to make sure that you get an employer or you relocate within that time. So if you're self-sponsoring, then all you have to do is to you can do this on your own. You have to go through the RCSI website. You can go to www.rcsi.ie and then go. We can also help you with this. Okay, so all you have to do then is to pay for the exam fee, select the date you want to write the exam, and you'll be given invitation for the exam. So I think I've also done a video on this self-sponsorship. You might want to look back and get more detail. So that is how to self-sponsor. You get invitations for the exam, and then you apply for your visa, and with the visa you come in to write the exam. Once you pass, you get your PIN. Once you get your PIN, even before you get your PIN, you can definitely get an employer, because most employers know that you're already in the country, so they are eager to take you in and continue the process, saving them a lot of money, bringing you down, but you're already in. So it's very fast. Sometimes even when you show interest to some employers while you are still abroad, that you are willing to self-sponsor, so it gives you opportunity to get employer quickly. Of course, we know what the pandemic has done to a lot of businesses and organizations. So everybody is trying to cut down costs, and that is why sometimes it's very, very difficult or slow, and some delays in getting employer for Ireland nursing recruitment. So that's about self-sponsorship. If you're interested in self-sponsorship, you can send us an email, and then we will put you through the proper process there under the Nurse Mentorship, Nurse to Ireland Mentorship. Okay. So secondly, like I said, now is you looking for employer. Now, how do you look for employer? This is very important. Now, I want to say, if you are not a social media, when I say social media, I don't mean that you have to be on social media every day. If possible, you can be, because you're looking for something, you understand? So LinkedIn should be your friend. A lot of these employer recruitment agencies are on LinkedIn. So I'm going to share, this is a secret. So let me call it the Nurse to Ireland Mentorship. We are sharing links and direct links to employers. But if you go on the internet, there are so many agencies, in Ireland, nursing recruitment agencies in Ireland, that you can connect with, get their contacts online. They are also looking for you. The way you are looking for them, they are looking for nurses. Only that, first come, first serve, and the processes might be a bit delayed. But generally, looking out for employer recruitment agencies, so to say, you need to pay attention to if they are offering you some contracts. Look at what they give you. Look at the speed at which they want to apply for you. Do they normally? Let me just do this disclaimer: no recruitment agency should obtain money for you for getting you a job. It's different from mentorship, to understand. So no recruitment agency should collect money to get you a job in Ireland, either internationally or locally. Okay, so please beware of that. So you want to look at that. You want to look at what's the offer they are giving you. But how do you look out for this? So again, like I said, be on the lookout on the internet. LinkedIn should be your friend. Most of these employers are there. So you can follow them on social media, on their social media, and do check up their websites, go through their contacts, send them an email. So an example quickly, I will just run through the, CPL Healthcare is a renowned, nursing agency in Ireland. Recruitnet International, Headhunt International, they also recruit. Servisource recruits Kate, KCI, that's Kate Cowley. They do that CCM recruitment, they are also good. And so on and so forth. Okay. Adaptive, they're also good. Clarity, Excel, FRS, Nurse on Call. So there are some nursing agencies that only focus on nurses that are in Ireland, while we have some that are focused on international nurses as well. So you need to be able to know the difference between these. Okay, I'll run quickly off that. Again, if you're just joining, this is Nkaremu, and I'm here speaking the Nurse to Ireland Mentorship. The topic here is what next after you have submitted your NMBI application. Okay, this is the NMBI is for Ireland. So what next? What do you do next? Okay, again, if you have not subscribed, please do that. Subscribe and share this video to a friend, a nurse, anywhere in the world that might be interested coming to Ireland. And like I said, if you have any question, feel free to drop the question. I will try as much as possible to answer. So the next thing I'll go on to, now that you're looking for employer, now, what if they call you for interview tomorrow? Are you actually prepared for an interview? So the next thing is preparing your CV. Using the Irish template one. Again, this is one thing we can guide you with at the Nurse Mentorship, Nurse to Ireland mentorship. I keep saying Nurse Mentorship. Yeah, that's because I have another program like that, Nurse Mentorship. So this is Nurse to Ireland mentorship, which is part of the Nurse Mentorship Academy at the NCO Healthcare. All right, so how to package your CV, how to prepare your CV and prepare for interview. This is next thing you have to do. You need to tidy up your CV. Now, get your CV checked. We can do a CV review. That's a service we offer at Synergy. So let us know, submit a CV for review, and then we can look it up and see if it is, standardized, using the Irish template and so on. And how to go about that, we can guide you. Now, preparing for, preparing for your interview, which is very important. I need to say at this stage. So most of the time, the interviews, they are going to be competency based. So competency based, they want to see your skill, they want to see your ability, they want to see you express or demonstrate that you are skillful in one area or the other. So it's important that you prepare ahead. So we can also guide you. We've done some videos you can look at for our previous video on, having the best CV templates, and also competency by preparing for interview for an Irish nursing job. So look that video up. It's very important if you haven't done so. Now, you're looking out for employer through all the means. You're sending emails, and like I said, we can also refer you or send you some links to different jobs. I want to talk about job as well. What sites? So there's a particular site that is very important that you need to be familiar with. It's called the irishjobs.ie. irishjob.ie. If you hear that, you can type that in the chat box. Irish, IRISH jobs, JOBS.ie. So get familiar with this website. You can sign up there, and you can sign up, subscribe to be receiving emails and notifications. So you can see when you're looking out for jobs that are overseas. So some of the keywords you put there will be overseas, international. So you can apply directly even from overseas to some of these jobs. All they just require is for you to send your CV, and then if you feel like you're suitable, they call you for an interview. You understand? So you can start us as well. Okay. So it's also important that, so I think I've mentioned CV and interview. I've talked about you searching for jobs, looking out for all these agencies or directly irishjobs.ie. And Indeed is also good. Indeed.com. Just make sure you narrow down the search process to Ireland, overseas, nursing. You can put nursing home, you can put HSC, you can put private. So you can get job in a private institution, you can get job in a public institution, you can get job in an hospital, or you can get job in a nursing home. So depending on you and what you can get within the space of the time you have. Okay, so after this, peradventure, thankfully you got a job, or even while preparing for all this job interview, you can as well be preparing for aptitude tests and OSCE. That is if you, number one, if you are self-sponsoring and you decide to go through the self-sponsorship pathway for the examination. So the next thing starts preparing for the aptitude test and OSCE. So we offer this service at Synergy International Network, preparing for RCSI, CBT, and OSCE. You can look up our website, or you can request for it. Send us an email. We'll send you details about this, and you can start preparing for that as well, because you don't want to wait then start preparing, to give you, this gives you additional time to prepare and of course to be able to pass well. Yeah, so you're preparing for the aptitude test and OSCE. You're waiting for the employer, looking out for employer. Your CV and interview preparation is ongoing. Never stop, never stop. Now, something that can happen while you're waiting for the response from Ireland is sometimes they can request for additional documentation. So NMBI can request for additional documentation from you. Okay, so be on the lookout. Be checking your email. At this time, I expect that you'll be checking your email at least once a day, or even 2-3 times a day if possible. So because NMBI can request for additional documentation from you, and when they request, you should be able to respond immediately, as soon as possible, because there is also a time frame for you to respond. For instance, if they ask for clarification about maybe your birth certificates, maybe they are asking for you to provide a certified copy if you have not done that, or there's an issue with the spelling of your name, or your name on your passport photograph, international passport, is not consistent with the name on your birth certificate. So NMBI will come back to you about that. So you need to rectify that. You need to get an affidavit, and then you need to certify the affidavit or request for a change of name via the NMBI website. Okay, so that's just an example. So be on the lookout of your email. If possible, join any group. If there's Synergy is there, the North to Ireland mentorship group is there. Participate. Make sure that you are updated from time to time. You don't want to miss out on job opportunities as well. So it'd be good if you can join a support group as much as possible. So I've talked about preparing for aptitude tests. I've talked about you be on the lookout for your email and getting the necessary support. It might also be important that you put together your home. If you are really committed, I say if everything goes well with your assessment, within 3 months you get assessment done. You've written your exam by 6 months. By 6 months, all things being equal, you should have applied for your visa. So you might want to prepare ahead as well, maybe preparing your family, preparing your stops, and getting ready emotionally and physically to relocate to your dreamland of Ireland. So basically, I think those are the things that you need to keep doing. I'm going to check if I have other things to mention. So once again, this is Synergy International Network. My name is Olayinka Aremu, and I've been talking strictly about North to Ireland mentorship program, particularly what's next to do now that you have submitted your NMBI application. So while waiting, what should you do? So as part of this as well, at the North mentorship, we're going to be helping and supporting you with information, coaching you on how you can pass your adaptation program. The point is, people fail adaptation, people fail the aptitude test. It's not a good news, but it's the fact. So one thing we also do at Synergy is to support you, to train, to tutor you, that to make sure that you pass. You don't want to go back home, or there have to be instances where you won't be able to work as soon as possible. Now, after all this is done, again, the other thing we can help you with is the work permits and visa application support. So you have gotten a job offer. If you are self-sponsoring, we can support you with this. But if you have an employer, most of the time, if it's a direct employer, then you need to sort out your work permit and visa application. But most employers, we have an agency working with them. So the agency could, like I said, support you with the visa application, and then the work permits, that's either the atypical work permits that you need to get, which costs I think €250. So the employer could pay that for you, or you have to pay yourself depending on the package. So I say, don't waste time. Don't wait till forever. If you have any opportunity, grab it. If you want to clarify anything you are not sure before you make any decision, you might want to check with myself via the North mentorship. Okay, so it's really, really, really important that we do all this. So what other things that do we do? Once you have moved in or you're planning to move, you can also start thinking of accommodation. So basically, at the moment, accommodation is a very challenging thing here in Ireland, and I think globally as well. So you might want to prepare ahead, for this accommodation. We can support you with that. And once you move in, help you to integrate well into the system, which is one of the things we do as well. So yeah, that's just basically what is next. So if I will recap that, I'll tell you that what is next after you have submitted your NMBA application. First of all is wait. When I say wait, a lot of us, a lot of nurses are very, very impatient. You need to be patient with the process. There is a process about this, and sometimes there could be delay. NMBI could delay one way or the other due to staff shortages or something happen. Another thing, major thing that can delay your processing is documentation, poor documentation or improper documentation or false documentation. So you want to root this out. That is why you need to join the Nurse Mentorship Academy. You need to join the Nurse Mentorship Nurse to Ireland so that you can be coached and mentored on providing the appropriate documentation necessary for your NMBI application. Every outer or false documentation or incomplete documentation can delay the process or completely halt the process. So make sure you're not providing any false documentation. Make sure you are not tampering with your date of birth or anything that has to do with your documents, your transcript. You are not tampering with it. Your results, you are not tampering with it. So make sure that you are following through, that you have all your documents certified and all that. So again, if you are just joining, this is Ola Nkarimu, and we are at Synergy International Network talking about Nurse to Ireland mentorship. If you have not joined the Nurse to Ireland mentorship, you need to subscribe and join. We provide a support for you to be able to go through the process without any scratch. So we'll take you from start to finish, putting you through all the processes. And as well, like I said, and this is out there, no agency whatsoever. Do not allow anybody to scam you, collecting money to get you an employer. I will not do that. Synergy will not do that. What we do is to support you. So at the Nurse Mentorship Academy, you are required to pay the commitment fee of the mentorship. So like I said, this is a do-it-yourself mentorship. We're going to give you, we're not going to give you the fish. We're going to give you the string and everything you need. You can hook and line to do the fishing yourself. So that's the commitment fee that is applicable to this. So again, it's been a lovely time, being here talking to you. If you have any question whatsoever, feel free to ask, drop it in the chat box, or you can send us an email at info@synergynurse.co.uk. You can visit us on YouTube. We have a YouTube, so subscribe. If you haven't, subscribe, turn on the notification button, make a comment, like, and share this video to anyone that might like it. We're on Facebook as well at Synergy International Network, on Instagram at Synergy Nurse, LinkedIn, Synergy International Network. Make sure you're following us, and if you have any concern and any question, feel free to come back to us. Thank you very much. It's been a lovely time. Again, my name is Ola Nkarimu. Have a lovely evening. Bye for now. Don't forget, your dream is valid. Bye for now.